think everything's working fine. I think we're good. Oh my, okay. I just want this to just take a second. Oh. All right. This is late, and everything just decided to go wrong. And I don't know why. Please, is that button on? It is not. There we go. Oh, let me double check. Yeah, I'm still live. Okay, everything's fine. Okay. It only took like 45 minutes to get everything fixed. But this is stupid. What was I doing? Okay. Let's just do some mount battle. Because this is giving me a huge headache. I don't know what exactly happened. But like, everything tech related had just decided to not work. Webcam didn't work, and I was trying to figure that out. And then the computer crashed for whatever reason. And then the webcam, after I shut everything down, turned it back on, the webcam still didn't work. Audio wasn't working. Sometimes video wasn't even going in. Everything was just going wrong. I don't know why. Other than the mic. The microphone seemed to be the only thing that was consistent. But I think we're done. I think we're all safe from the tech issues. I am glad this is Mount Battle, because this can maybe be a little bit more chill, because after all that, I don't want to deal with anything too complicated. Okay, Murkrow. Murkrow is in hyper mode. That's nice. Oh, good. Houndoom. So I guess a little bit of updates. Ruby, I managed to get the Starmie completely EV trained. Now what's left is to level grind both the Starmie and the Metagross to level 50. Again, doing that on my own time. My friend was doing a lot of research about berry blending, and based on what he was doing he was basically saying that if you can only berry blend with 2 people, you're probably better off just using the 3 NPCs, because you'll most likely get better berry blending with the 3 NPCs than with just 2 real people. If we had another link cable and could do 3 people, then that would be better, but we don't. So he decided, let's just go single player on this one and be like, okay. So, when we get to it, berry blending will be on stream. That's fine. That's all well and good. Yeah, the only issue that may be the case right now is if maybe I'm too loud or the game's too loud, but that's... Don't really know how to officially check that without seeing echoes. Okay. Let's just keep on going. I would like to get all the Shadow Pokemon done in 2 streams. That would be nice. Even if I have to extend probably Wednesday longer just to get the rest of them done. Oh, oops. There we go. Oh, good. Houndoom. Yes, you're making this go faster. If at least one of you can go into hyper mode, you just get rid of my headaches. Come on, Murkrow. Please go into hyper mode. Stall this battle out. Yay, you did it. But yeah, once I get Starmie and Metagross trained up, we'll be all good to go for Battle Tower. But I'm going to be Eevee training Heracross and Emerald. Also teach Heracross some moves in there. Still need to look into if I should end it with contests or if I should get the contest stuff done out of the way. You know what? I think it really depends on one, like, can I get Rock Slide and Swords Dance back in Diamond and Pearl, and if so, how do I do that? Gotta kill time somehow. Okay, let's look at Gen 4. So how do we get... Oh, will we not have Megahorn? Hold on. Will we not have Megahorn for this? Oh no, Megahorn's at level 53. We're not going to be having Megahorn for the first Battle Tower. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Well, we'll have to rely on Brick Break. Okay, let's see. TMs, do I see Swords Dance and Rock Slide? I see Earthquake. No, I'm not seeing those. Let's see. Move Tutors. Egg moves? Where's Swords Dance and Rock Slide? I don't see them. Huh. Okay. Oh no, I see Rock Slide. Rock Slide is a TM, and Swords Dance is a TM. They're just different numbers. Okay. So, I don't have, like, an action replay or anything for Gen 4. But what I can do is I could just use my... I think my Pearl file? I don't think I really used many TMs and stuff in there. I could probably just grab stuff out of there. And if I absolutely have to, I could delete, like, the Pearl file, start it over, get TMs. I can make that work. What was it? Rest and sleep talk? Pretty sure both are TMs. There's rest, sleep talk. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, both are TMs. At least I don't have to do, like, move tutor for getting the moves that I want. Unless I want snore. Wait, what am I getting in Emerald? Yeah, it's sleep talk or snore. Huh. I wonder which one is actually better. But one's a TM, one's dude. You know what? Maybe we should just do contest last. It's probably the way to go. Do contests last. So that way I don't have to go back and forth and reteach TMs. Okay. So I think this is the order. You know, Eevee train first. Then we got to do Battle Tower. Level 50. Then we can either do the champion or do Mount Battle. Either or, it doesn't really matter on the order on that. Then we gotta do Mount Battle level 100. Then contest stuff. And we end it there. But we're going to be doing some trading, and so like once I'm done Eevee training and I teach the moves in Emerald, I'm trading to Ruby so we could do Battle Tower. Then once I do everything there, I'm going back here to Colosseum. Then we're going back to Emerald. We're doing this weird like triangle thing. Going back and forth. Yeah, I think that might be the plan. Because I need to end it on Emerald. Because one, that's where all my berries are that I've been growing into. I need the BP to get, like, I think it was Sleep Talk or Snore, one of them. But we don't have, after Gen 4, we don't have to worry about contests for a long time. Not until, I think, the remakes of in Gen 6. And at that point, TMs are just infinite, so... Doom and Murkrow should be done. If not, they're very close. I think Murkrow's done at the very least. I'll check both. It only did 1 damage, and it doesn't even look like it did anything to the actual health bar. Like, I don't even see any sort of difference. Oh, no. Houndoom is not done yet, but Murkrow is. Wait. Oh, whoops. Wrong order. There we go. Got the right order now. Let's go, Houndoom. Get it done. I might, yeah, I'll send Houndoom out for one fight. And that will be enough. Sometimes walking isn't enough. Even though it would, but last time I tried that with fur, it didn't work. But I can definitely at least do that. Yeah, realizing that we're not going to get Mega Horn for level 50 Battle Tower is going to be a little annoying. But I feel like Brick Break might be more than enough. And Rock Slide, I guess. Okay, now Houndoom should be done. Let me check. Yep. Alright, swap you out with Smeargle. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, we'll probably do Champion and Ruby first before doing before going back to Colosseum. That way I don't, well, I could just do the Champion and Emerald too. I guess it really doesn't matter the order. Actually, whatever. Now I think about it, it's Colosseum, then back to Ruby. The order of how to do things. Alright. Come on, Smeargle, you got this. And Bayleaf is getting close to being done. And that is exactly what I trained you for, Smeargle. There's that. Swap in Houndoom with Smeargle just so I don't send him out again. Alright. Do that. There we go. And Bayleaf will probably get done pretty quickly. It really depends on how often Bayleaf will get into Hyper Mode. Maybe like 2 Hyper Modes Bayleaf will be done. I don't know how long Smeargle's gonna take, but... no, it doesn't seem like it'll take too long. But we'll see. Nope, and Bayleaf has decided not to go into Hyper Mode. Really doesn't like that Duskull. Duskull's giving Bayleaf those weird looks, I guess. And what was that about going into Hyper Mode twice? Oh well. Got plenty of time. Plenty. Zigzagoon and Whisper. I mean, again, it's just Mount Bow. We've seen these fights before. But if you want Ho-Oh, this is what you have to do. Come on, Bayleaf, go into hyper mode. Nope, Bayleaf just decides, no, I want to move on to the next area. But Bayleaf is so we cannot take down this Skitty. But we gotta deal with Cute Charm, so that Skitty's gonna be very annoying. Well, Smeargle's mad about this. Smeargle wanted Skitty's affection. And Bayleaf was so mad. Just ignored the cuteness, I guess. Come on. Well, I want to go with this. Bayleaf is just that weak. Critical hit! It didn't do all that much. Oh, good. Smeargle was so mad about that crit. You know, Smeargle's getting all the hyper modes when I really wanted Bayleaf to get into hyper mode. I can't be complaining about that. It's progress. Yes, okay, yeah, it drops down Smeargle like a good fourth of the bar. It's not bad. What is that, Chaotic Oven? What have you just realized? And how you doing? The stream got delayed by like an hour because all the tech has just decided not to work. And then after like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, somehow figured it out. Got it working. Don't know how, but I did. Why doesn't Japan compete with the US in the World Series if they're so good at baseball? I don't have too much of an opinion. I don't know too much about baseball to really give too much say in that. Maybe it's... You know what? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Then we'll get Houndoom. I don't even have an idea of how to explain that. I just don't have anything for that. Sports is not my cup of tea. Yeah, Bayleaf's getting close. Alright. I mean, I don't think there's anything, like, saying that they wouldn't. Or that they couldn't, anyway. It's been bugging you, it's just one of those thoughts. But, like, okay. So soccer is big enough that everyone around the world, like, different countries will compete into the same tournament. Soccer has, anyway. Football is kind of... football is just kind of localized to just America, and that's about it. I feel like the same thing with basketball, but I'm not too sure. Like, I think with basketball, it's either, like, just within their own region, country, whatever you want to call it. So maybe it's just the same thing with baseball. Does American baseball, like, compete with other countries? Or is it just the U.S.? It might just be that there isn't really an international... Yeah, it might just be that there's not an international, like, baseball tournament, I guess. I don't know. You know what they call it, the World Series? You got me there. You got me there. I mean, there was a time where baseball was the most popular sport in America before, you know, football took over, I guess. Yeah. It was called, like, the America's #1 pastime, I think. So I wonder... Has a nation tried to enter that isn't the U.S.? I don't know, Hot Corn Dog. Sports is out of my wheelhouse. Imagine the Cubs against Tokyo's team. Who would win? Who would win in that case? I will say this about, like, I don't really care about watching sports all that much. But I have been to 2 baseball games in my life. For one was I was going with a friend. He invited me to be like, ah, sure, why not? And the other one was like a class trip sort of thing. I'll say this. It is definitely different being in the stadium, you know, versus then just watching on TV or something. I'll say that much. I do think it is a different experience. How's it going, everyone? Hot Corn Dog, Chaotic Oven. Hope your day's going okay, because for like 45 minutes, everything just decided not to work. Took me 45 minutes to get everything working, and I don't know what went wrong. Like, first the webcam, like, just didn't want to work. Computer crashed. Got everything reset. The webcam still didn't want to work. Wasn't getting sound. Sometimes, hell, sometimes I wasn't even getting visuals. Yeah, it was a headache. Yeah, that's the reason. I thought about just canceling it altogether. But then, you know, I got it working. I'm like, I'm here. Let's just continue. I don't have anything else to do, so it was just one big headache. The late 90s and early 2000s were the era of obscure MMOs that somehow had a larger... Yeah, wasn't WoW, like, way more popular than like, baseball? Well, okay, yeah, WoW changed everything. Like, in 2000... WoW was 2004, right? Yeah, WoW changed everything about MMOs, I think. So, like, the MMOs that were before that were, like, RuneScape, and that's, like, the only one that I could think of. Spend your weekend playing Heroes. Despite your best attempts, you're barely gonna go down tier. Wow, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Phantasy Star Online. Although in America, wasn't that, like, only a Dreamcast thing? Or could you get a PC version? Yes, but the GameCube version was after, was like early 2000. Dreamcast version... What year did the Dreamcast version come out? Late 90s? I don't even think there is one. I don't even think there is a PC version. Speaking of Phantasy Star Online for the GameCube, have you guys ever seen the GameCube controller? This only came out in Japan. The GameCube controller that also had a keyboard built in. Have you ever seen that? It's like only in Japan. Bayleaf's not done yet. Basically, just to describe how it works, how it looks like. So here's a normal keyboard. Here's a normal keyboard. Just slap like the ends of like the GameCube, like that, basically on the sides. That's what it looks like. It's hilarious. There was also a Wii keyboard. I wouldn't be surprised. Is my mic too loud? I'm kind of peaking. Hold on. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit so I don't go into the red. Because that's not a good thing I should be doing. I hear those GameCube keyboards are pretty rare and hard to find. Let's find out how rare. Cube. Key. Yes, actually. Like, you had to get... I think you had to get, like, the first version of the GameCube. The one with, like, the LAN adapter or something, but like early GameCubes did. But it's not something I don't think I could do with mine. I don't fully know how exactly it works. Okay, come on. I want to find this controller. Okay, Bayleaf. Let's see. Okay, Bayleaf's done. Phantasy Star Online. That is the only one that really needed the keyboard. I want to find this. I want to find this keyboard. No, not the broadband adapter. Actually, I probably have to check Japanese GameCube. Because I think that one was only in Japan. But Mario Kart Double Dash with separate consoles connected to each other. Yeah, you can also do that with, I think, Kirby Air Ride? Kirby Air Ride was another one you could do that with. Okay, there's got to be another way to check for this. I don't think Smash Bros. Was one of them, though. Although, it really should have been. I mean, imagine if you could do that with the N64 and GoldenEye. The GoldenEye was the multiplayer game for the N64. It's like GoldenEye, Smash Bros, Mario Kart. Those were the multiplayer games, and also Mario Party, like a Mario Party. Pick one you like, but like those were the multiplayer games for the N64. Keyboard controller. Let's see if I type that in. See if I can find it. Come on. I have a feeling I would probably need to do a lot of digging just to try to find it. I also don't know what else it's called, so... Oh, what am I... Well, I want to do that anyway. Let's get Ursaring in here. I still need to play GoldenEye. Maybe I'll stream that one day. Because I never actually played through it, and I feel like I should, because I own it. Come on. I want to see like a price for it. Oh, good. Hyper modes. No, that ain't it. Silver console. Let's see, adapter. Panasonic. Oh, is that the... Oh, yep, that's the DVD player. In Japan, there was a... In Japan, there was a GameCube that had a DVD player built in. It was with Panasonic. But that was only in Japan. If you want a loose one, you're paying like $750 for it. Screen peaking was a huge problem. That could have been solved by doing like a connection. Maybe a port on top. Yeah, screen peaking has just always been a thing. There's not much you could really do about it without online or the LAN connection or doing the landline thing. No, that ain't it. I gotta just keep scrolling down. I'll find it somehow. Oh, never mind. Well, I don't know what it's called. Maybe they just don't have it on this site. They should, though. Maybe... Well, I don't know where it is. I don't know what it's called. I can't really find it without just spending a lot of time digging. But I know it exists. I've seen it. You know, online. It exists. Oh, Ursaring, you're gonna take a long time. But no, the keyboard, like... I think it was really only used for Phantasy Star, and that's it. It's not needed for anything else. Besides, I think you could play Phantasy Star online on PC now, so it's not needed anyway. What do we have? Yeah, no, okay, no, everything's right. Yeah, I'm really hoping we could get the Shadow Pokemon done in 2 streams. And then, hopefully on Friday, we can actually start working on Heracross. That's kind of my hope. Smeargle, you're just so weak. I mean, what else is new? It's Smeargle. But yeah, if the Nintendo 64 had somehow had land pet play, it would have sold way more. It definitely would have. GoldenEye multiplayer LAN parties. Yeah, it would have sold way more. But Nintendo's always behind the time, while trying to be forward thinking. You know, it's weird. They're both ahead and behind the times at the same time. If I can at least get, like, 3 more or 4 more Shadow Pokemon, I think I'll be satisfied. Like, completely done. I'm ready to go. Because I had 14 left to do at the start of this, and I just got 3 done. So if I want this done in 2 streams, I need to do, like, at least, like, 7 in this one, 7 in the other. So hopefully we can at least get 4 more done. Oh yeah, Ruby, I got Starmie. I got Starmie EV trained. I gotta level up Starmie and Metagross. I gotta get them to level 50, but other than that, that's pretty much ready to go. And I didn't meet up with my friend to do berry blending because he was doing a bunch of research on berries, and he kind of found out where it's like, if you only have 2 people to do berry blending with, you might as well just use 3 NPCs. You'll probably get slightly better stuff, just slightly. So we'll be doing berry blending on stream, so that's gonna be fun. And that's gonna be a lot. So yeah. So, the Nintendo Switch is getting Game Boy Advance stuff, or it already has, and that the Game Boy Advance stuff is added to the expansion pack. So, is the expansion pack more worth it now, since Game Boy Advance stuff is on there? Or is it one of those things where maybe we should just wait for GameCube? Potentially. I mean, Game Boy Advance needs more games, though, but they're gonna drip feed us. But other than that, once they get more stuff, is the extra 30 for online worth it? Or should we just wait for GameCube? Ursarine's paralyzed. Oh, I was gonna say Ursarine's paralyzed, but still faster than Smeargle, but no. I just went to hyper mode. I personally think, even when we get more games on the GBA, I probably will still wait for either a bunch more games for N64 Game Boy Advance, or wait for GameCube, if that ever becomes a thing. I'll just stick with the basic internet online thing. At least we got Game Boy for the basic online service. Still only has like 5 games, but we have Game Boy. That's something. Now the question is Pokemon going to be a thing on these live services? They should put them on Switch, but are they going to make them online? Or are they going to try to make more money and make you pay for them separately? I mean, there's pros and cons to both, but part of me thinks that maybe if they do put Pokemon on Switch, or classic ones, maybe it should be online, because here's my reasoning. Because if they could connect them to Stadium on N64, the only way to play Stadium on N64 is to play the online mode anyway. To play the expansion pack. So just having the main games, like, being able to buy separately but not Stadium feels a little bit weird. I don't know. I don't think it really matters, but this field is tanking a lot of hits. Oh no, my fire attacks won't do as well. Whatever shall I do? I'll just shoulder charge you, I guess. Because that's a fire move, right? I only see Water Sport helpful in double battles, but you need to be paired up with, like, another Pokemon that's weak to it. Same thing with Mud Sport. I just don't see the benefit of it single player. Or in a team like this, where fire attacks won't really matter. You're better off with Rain Dance if you're going with Water Sport. So at least with Rain Dance, water moves will be powered up. And Mud Sport is like, oh, we lower the effectiveness of electric type moves. Except most of the Pokemon that know that move are also part ground, I think. I know Zigzagoon can learn it, and that could be maybe useful, but like, I just don't know if Mud Sport's all that useful. I'm gonna take a look. Mud Sport. Electrical resistance. Okay, so the Geodude line So useful to park ground. Okay, Mudkip can learn it. I mean, Mudkip can use it, but if you evolve it, it doesn't need it. Zigzagoon has some benefits with it. Barboach doesn't need it. Park ground. I guess Anorith can learn it. And Relicanth. I can see those two kind of utilizing it. And then, okay. Who can learn it through breeding? Squirtle, Slowpoke, Goldeen. I think Goldeen can get Lightning Rod, or maybe I'm thinking Gen 5. Here, let's do that. Totodile. Wooper, although Wooper doesn't really need it. Slowcane, Mantine, Trico. Trico doesn't need it. I mean, grass resists electricity, as it is. Corphish, Feebas, Clamperl, Luvdisc. Honestly, the Pokemon that level up with Mudsport need it less than the Pokemon that can get it from egg moves. Like, half of the Pokemon that can learn it through level up don't even need it. While, like, 90% of the Pokemon that learn it through breeding could use it. To some extent. I don't know how well it actually helps, though. Smeargle might be done. Okay, let's check. Is Smeargle actually done, or do we need to do just a little bit more? Nope, just a little bit more. Smeargle ain't done yet. Come on. I really just need Smeargle to just get into hyper mode one more time. I mean, okay, that's helpful. I'm okay with that. Come on, Smeargle. I mean, whatever works, I guess. Hopefully we get Smeargle done through walking. That way we don't have to take it to the next set of fights. Oh. Smeargle's like, nah, I'm not angry anymore. Alright. Smeargle's not angry. I could have just swapped Smeargle in, out and then swap him back in just to get that last bit done, but nah. It's okay. How about, let's try doing a few circles. How about one more? Because walking helps get rid of purification. Go get my Poke coupons first. Yes. Alright. Please tell me you're done. No, almost fully open. It's a jolly nature, too. I'm really just wanting to be done with Smeargle. I'm gonna have to send you out. Yeah, one fight. That's annoying. It is what it is. Togetic was the last one. You know what? It's got Meditite. Alright. Let's move on. Smeargle will be done just by throwing it out into battle. Take a look. There we go. Smeargle's done. Was that so hard, Smeargle? Is that... Oh, okay. I think I found the name of that keyboard controller. Let me see if... Maybe they don't have it listed here. Never mind. That's disappointing. I honestly don't understand why Remoraid is level 20. Well, everything else around the time was like level 30. I think Remoraid might easily be the lowest level Pokemon except for maybe Makuhita. Actually, Makuhita might even been level like 30, give or take. Maybe 28. Togetic's level 20 as well. Although I see Togetic as a challenge. You're dealing with a bunch of level 40 stuff, and then here comes a level 20. Hope you don't kill it. Maybe it's the same idea of Remoraid. You had to do 2 fights in a row. I don't know. Just seems weird to me. Actually, what level does Remoraid evolve? Because I know Remoraid you cannot get in Ruby and Sapphire. Okay. Yeah, trade from Emerald Leaf Green Colosseum. Not even Fire Red. Evolves at level 25. So... if they made it level 30, like every other Pokemon at the time, or close to level 30, it would have been... It could have still been a Remoraid. Like, there's no problem with it not being a Remoraid. But, like, they could have also made it Octillery to keep it consistent with everything else. Because one thing that's pretty consistent with this game is, If any of the Johto Pokemon are not available in Ruby or Sapphire, then they cannot be their very first forms. They need to be the evolved form. Remoraid kind of breaks that rule for whatever reason. I don't know why. Obviously, stuff like Slugma is in its first form, but you could catch Slugma, so who in Ruby and Sapphire, so that doesn't matter. I know there's like a Did You Know Gaming video talking about Colosseum that came out like a few months ago. Apparently, the title's like Genius already like didn't know anything about Pokemon before doing this. I need to watch that because maybe there's some info in there. That will probably be like development info stuff. That wouldn't be too bad checking out. Just get distracted with other things. So if Smeargle's done, that's 4 Shadow Pokemon done. I would like to get at least 2 more, ideally 3 more. Okay, Saint Shrew, come on out. Yeah, Remoraid's Hustle is like causing its accuracy to not go as well. I just read Hustle. It's like you boost your attack by your attacks by 1.5, but like your base accuracy will be like 80 or something like that. It's very. I don't like that ability. No thanks. I don't like it. I wish to get rid of it. Too bad Remoraid doesn't have any other abilities. Because that's what I want my attacks to miss. And I'm pretty sure Octillery has the same ability. I'm pretty sure Octazooka wasn't even 100% accurate anyway, so it just drops down to 90, maybe even 75. I don't even know how that all works. Maybe it's anything over 80% just drops down to 80. Maybe that's how it works. But maybe if something's already below 80, it doesn't drop down anymore. So you just get the 1.5% anyway. At that point, if you're going that route, maybe it's okay. And Remoraid is not angry enough. Remoraid, you need to get angry. Does Ursaring have guts? No, I don't want to shift. Does Ursaring have guts? He does. Ursaring. Just getting that attack bonus. You may have poisoned me, but it only made me stronger. You don't mess with bears. Get them burned, poison them, you know, kneecap their legs. No, that just makes them mad. That just makes them mad even more. Makes them want to beat you up even more. Ursaring is just constantly getting angry. This whole Mount Battle thing is Ursaring's therapy session. Just gotta constantly let out Ursaring's aggression. Be like, no, we don't get angry like that, Ursaring. That's not how we do things. Meanwhile, Remoraid's just getting his ass kicked. My Remoraid. You're so useful, I swear. Believe me. Now we'll send out the most defensive Pokemon in all of Pokemon, except, you know, it doesn't have the HP to back it up. Your HP is only as good as your defense, and vice versa. And with a base HP of 10, HP is for nerds? I mean, I guess. I mean, when Shuckle has max defenses, you think it would do well, but its HP doesn't really help out. It's not as great as you'd think. I'm pretty sure there are, like, other Pokemon that would defend better than Shuckle. At least in one or the other. Like, I'm pretty sure Blissey in special defense is better than Shuckle's special defense, but obviously not physical defense. At the same time, Shuckle doesn't have the attack stat to really help out either. Unless you use something like, what was it, Guard Swap? Go with that strat. But you would have to pair that up with, like, Trick Room for that to really be efficient. Shuckle is also very slow. It's almost like it's a worm hiding within a rock. Shuckle has his defenses and Toxic, except when he fights a poison type. And Toxic won't do anything about it. It's not like Shuckle has, like, Will-O-Wisp or, like Thunder Wave. And it's just Rapid Ethers, pretty much. At that point, you might as well just swap out. And Remoraid just doesn't want to be purified. Remoraid's like, I am perfectly happy being a shadow Pokemon. Like, I'm not even angry about it. It's just like, Remoraid, I want you to be angry so we can fix all your problems. And Remoraid's like, are you sure? Maybe. Oh, there. That is Remoraid's first hyper mode. Let's see how much it does. There we go. More of that, please, Remoraid. Be like Ursaring. Constantly get mad. Yeah, even though Ursaring's just constantly getting mad, like, it doesn't go down that much, but every little bit helps, I guess. There we go, Remoraid. You're doing exactly what I want you to do. Just constantly get mad. No, Remoraid's secret is that Remoraid's always angry. That was Remoraid's secret. You got Effie to +10 on Saturday. She's not the best spear unit, but she's not terrible on her job of not dying. That's all you need, don't right? Does Effie still have the because in Fates, Effie had the skill where she's like, if she is stronger than the opponent, she gets a +3 attack bonus. Does she still have something like that? Speaking of Fates, I did start a Revelation playthrough now on my own time. I did all the support stuff on Conquest, so now I can move on to Revelation. The best plot in all the series, right? Fates has a good plot. Clearly. The fans agree. I'm about, like, chapter 11 or 12 in, something like that. But yeah, I really gotta put a little bit more priority in getting Starmie and Metagross to level 50. Maybe I'll try doing that tonight. It's just a matter of going through the Elite Four a few times, and then once they're a couple levels away, then just go to Victory Road. I might cheat in a Lucky Egg just to make things go faster at that point. Original weapon was the Silver Spear, which wasn't terrible at the time. She eventually got her own weapon that if she has greater than or equal to 50% HP, she gets +6 to HP. That... okay. Her whole thing is that she likes to be strong and work out. That's why she does heavy armor to work out. Oh, +6 to attack. Okay. I'm just like, what? So if she is more than 50%, she gets a +6 to attack. That's something. That is something. I'm like, she gets more HP, like, if she stays higher up. How does that work? Oh no, focus energy. Any tiny bit helps, Ursaring. Yeah, if you were playing this back in the day, you almost don't want to use Remoraid. So you could keep it as one more efficiently, then transfer it over for Pokedex stuff. Let's get Shuckle in here. Allows her to debuff the enemy's attack defense by -5 and nullifies their bonuses to attack. Or is this only This only activates once every turn. That sounds annoying to deal with. Is it attack and defense, or attack or defense? Because I would probably, if you had to choose, I'd probably go with the defense. Just really get her to kill things. Attack and defense, nice. So that basically means physical attackers are less likely to get her under 50%. And it just makes it easier for her to kill things. I forgot they gave you Remoraid. That's extremely under level. Yeah, honestly, I don't know why it's level 20. And it's very inconsistent with everything else. Like, around the time you got Remoraid, you were catching things at like level 30. That has to be the case. And here's the thing, Old Brown Shoe. So any Johto Pokemon that is not caught in Ruby or Sapphire that you get in this game is always evolved. So, like, we get Kulava instead of Cyndaquil sort of thing. Because they want you to breed them in Ruby and Sapphire, I guess. But Remoraid is the sole exception to that rule. Where you cannot get Remoraid in Ruby or Sapphire, but yet you don't catch Artillery. You get Remoraid. I don't understand why that decision was made. You'd think it would just be an Octillery at level 30. And yes, Slugma is caught in Colosseum, and it's not Magcargo, but you could catch a Slugma in Ruby and Sapphire, so it doesn't matter. You gave a new weapon when the engaged pattern dropped. Alfred was the rearmed unit, so his spear is inheritable. So you gave that to her? Wait, Alfred's spear is... Oh, is inheritable. Okay. For some reason I read that as uninheritable. So, okay. So Alfred's spear is just better than the one she had before? Oh, okay. I mean, her spear sounded like it did really good. Her lance seemed to do really good as it was. What's different about the spear? No brown shoe. I don't know how much you played this game. You obviously played it before. But here's a question. So most of these Pokemon that you get are Johto. But there are 7, not counting the Plusle, there are 7 Shadow Pokemon that are Gen 3 Pokemon. Why do you think they chose the Pokemon that they did? I am pretty sure I know why 4 of them have, because they were in the Jirachi movie. But Metagross, Makuhita, and Meditite, I have no idea why specifically those three were chosen to be Shadow Pokemon in this game. Oh, hi, Banana Mitri. You're raiding. That's nice. We are just working on Shadow Pokemon, you know. How is the Karokana going? Did you manage to get it, or is it still going? Let's see. Still got Ursaring. Ursaring's pretty close, and Remoraid's still got just a little bit. So, yeah, we're just finishing up Shadow Pokemon before I move on to actually working on the Heracross. I should be able to get it done. Like, I needed 14 to do left, so I'm hoping to get 7 done today and 7 done my next stream for this. Then we can finally move on to Heracross. No shiny. Oh, and the internet's being bad. Tech problems. Man, I wouldn't understand that. I wouldn't understand any tech issues whatsoever. But Banana Mitri, Banana, I don't know, or however I should call you, I got some thoughts for you. You've obviously played Colosseum before. Here's a question. There are 7 Shadow Pokemon that you can that are Gen 3 Pokemon that you could catch in this game. Why do you think those 7 were specifically chosen? Tech issues are misspread by the Jedi. Just to remind you, it's Makuhita, Meditite, Swablu, Metagross, Tropius, Absol. There was one more. I'm forgetting one. Well, those were 6 of them. Absol. Did I say Absol? No, I already did. There was one more. Oh, Vibrava. There it is. That's the 7th. Those 7 Gen 3 Shadow Pokemon, why do you think those were chosen out of... This is obviously meant to be a Gen 2 catch-a-thon for your Ruby, but why those 7 Gen 3 Pokemon? I feel like I could explain 4 of them. The other 3, not so much. Yes, I'm going to continue this conversation from last week because it's still on my mind. Is that right, Old Brown Shoe? Okay, here's the thing, Old Brown Shoe. There is obviously some work, collaboration with this, Ruby and Sapphire, and the movies. They were obviously in the same meetings, pretty much. Because Game Freak had to have known when they were working on Ruby and Sapphire that they knew that they were going to remake they were going to do Fire Red and Leaf Green. That was going to be where you get your Gen 1 Mons. So I have a feeling Game Freak told Genius Sidority, make a Johto Pokemon. Like, this is how you were supposed to get your Johto Pokemon. Obviously, with Fire and Leaf Green, that doesn't matter, because you could catch pretty much all of these in those games. But I'm thinking that was because, let's be honest, the GameCube didn't do that well, let alone Pokemon Colosseum. So I think maybe the Sevi Islands were an afterthought because of it. But here's the thing. Around that time, the 6th Pokemon movie, Jirachi Wishmaker, was made. So, like, Ruby and Sapphire in Japan came out at the end of 2002 in November. The sixth movie, Jirachi Wishmaker, came out in November 2002. Jirachi came out in like June or July of 2003, and then Colosseum came out in like November 2003. Your internet was super bad, but you're on data now. About Colosseum Pokemon? Okay. Hold on. We're at a PC, so I can actually show you. I'm gonna continue on, restart this conversation. Okay. So, the majority of the Shadow Pokemon are Gen 2 Mons, right? But for whatever reason, here, let me grab Meditite. These 7 Shadow Pokemon, not counting Plusle, these 7 Shadow Pokemon are the only Gen 3 Mons. And they are so out of place. Because look at this. You got like a box and a half of Gen 2 Mons. And then we just get 7 random Gen 3 Mons. And I'm wondering why these were chosen. Old Brown Shoes kind of pointing out how Makuhita was being promoted at the time. I really want to know a little bit more about that, because he wasn't in the cards beforehand. Because, like, around the time everything was, there was obviously some team up with, or collaboration between Game Freak with Ruby and Sapphire, this, and the movies. Now, to kind of retry what I was saying before. So, Ruby and Sapphire in Japan, November 2002. Jirachi Wishmaker came out in, like, June of 2003. And then this game came out in, like, November 2003. So they were obviously so close together that they had to collab a little bit. And you want to know what Pokemon are in Jirachi Wishmaker? Swablu, Altaria, Vibrava, Flygon, Tropius, Absol. These 4 are in the movie. That's gotta be the reason why these 4 were specifically chosen. Because, let's be honest, why Tropius? I understand Absol. Absol's cool. And you can argue Vibrava, Flygon is really cool. Swablu, I don't fully understand, but Tropius. Of all the Gen 3 Pokemon you choose, Tropius. Until you realize that these 4 are in the movie. I just don't have an explanation for Makuhita, Meditite, and Metagross. Not the Tropius hate. I don't hate Tropius. It's just out of all the Gen 3 Pokemon you choose Tropius. I don't understand the choice unless you realize that he was in the movie, and that's why they must have chose these 4. My only explanation for Metagross is that it's Steven Stone's ace, and they knew that ahead of time. I just really don't have an explanation for these 2 right here, Makuhita and Meditite. Now, Old Brown Shoe, you were saying that Game Freak was pushing Makuhita a little bit. In the anime and games, Makuhita is the main Pokemon used by Broly. Both of these were used by Broly, by the way. Exclusive move, Smelling Salts. You could trade for a Slack Off for Makuhita early on. I guess that could be an explanation. And by the way, I tried looking into like the Pokemon trading card game just to see if maybe some Gen 3 Pokemon were made into cards before the actual Gen 3 cards, and that doesn't seem to be the case. I looked at all the cards that were kind of being made around Gen 2, or the ones near the end of it anyway. I didn't see any Gen 3 Mons. So I don't have an explanation for these 2. Other than, I don't know, Makuhita is the only pure fighting type that they added in Gen 3. And they wanted your first Shadow Pokemon to be kind of your equivalent to the starters, where it's like Psychic beats Fighting, Fighting beats Dark, Dark beats Psychic. That's the only explanation. Still nothing for this one. Just some thoughts. Also get cool abilities. For Makuhita, that makes sense. Metatite, you get that in the cave. You get Makuhita in the... No, I'm sorry. You get Metatite in the cave on your way to Mirror B. But I like to point something out. I also looked into what Gen 2 Pokemon can you not get in this game. Lugia and Celebi, unless you count Celebi's Japanese bonus disc. I'm not. Unknown. And Unknown makes sense. But then, and then there's the baby mons like Cleffa, Magby, Smoochum, and Elekid. Okay, maybe they didn't want to do the baby mons. Because they already had this weird thing about if it's a multi-stage evolution, they don't start you on the first one except for Remoraid. But then, you have Blissey, Politoed, Slowking, Steelix, Caesar, not counting the Japanese E-Reader, Porygon, and Porygon 2. Other than Blissey, which that makes Blissey makes the least amount of sense, those 5 have in common that they are trade evolutions with requiring items. That was honestly my that's how I got into this mindset. It made me think that maybe those, at least the trade evolutions, those 5, we're going to continue on, that those 5 were probably going to be considered at first. But then maybe they were told in the middle development, maybe we shouldn't do those. They give you an Elekid if you trade your Togepi, but even if you ignore that, you could get Magmar and Electabuzz, which means you could then breed. But I am purely just talking about Colosseum when Colosseum came out, because XD wasn't even in their minds when this was being made. And XD kind of serves kind of a different purpose for your games, considering that I'm pretty sure Emerald was out by that time too. Or if it wasn't out, it was going to be, and they planned for it. So I'm thinking that, like, the trade evolutions were probably going to be considered. And I know Kindra's another one, but you could get Horsey in Ruby and Sapphire, so I don't fully count that. Because that's another factor. Other than, like, 2 examples, if you could catch the Johto Pokemon in Ruby and Sapphire, they're not in here. Exceptions being Skarmory and Slugma. Don't know why, but those are the exceptions. Molly. Yes, my dog wants attention. I know. She always wants attention. I'm sorry. It's just food for thought, honestly. XD was definitely after Emerald because they teased Gen 4 Munchlax. That is true. And Bonsly. They teased both of them. But yeah, I was wondering, part of me was thinking that they were originally going to do the traded evolutions, but then they were told no, because if you could get the trade evolutions from Colosseum, then you wouldn't have to waste those items in your main games. Thanks for the follow, Randay. Hope you at least enjoying the background noise and and the rambling. And more dancing. Yes. Colosseum has good music. And XD. For that matter. But yeah, I was thinking like they were gonna add those 7 as catchable Pokemon, or those 5, I mean. But because you wouldn't need to waste those trade items anymore if you could just get them from Colosseum, maybe they then had to swap them to something else. And that's where the Gen 3 Pokemon came in my mind. I still don't know if the Metagross being Steven Stone's ace is a viable reason. The other reason I could think of is that because you don't have access to Ditto and you only get one Beldum in post game, since you can't breed Beldum without a Ditto, they wanted to give you another Metagross or another option. That's the only other reason for Metagross that I could think of. I just think the Gen 3 Mons are kind of weird choices when this entire game has just been about Gen 2 stuff. Although, I guess the other explanation for Makuhita that I could think of, considering that Makuhita is literally your first Shadow Pokemon that you can get. This is a Gen 3 game. And if you were a kid back in the day and, you're playing the new gen, you want to see your new Pokemon in 3D, pretty much. And then you pick this game up only to find out that at least in story mode, that the only Pokemon you get are Gen 2 Mons. Maybe they threw in a few Gen 3 just to for you to use just because of that type of mindset. I don't know. Anyone got any thoughts on this whole on these ideas? It's more the game design decisions that it's making me think all this. And by the way, I did check because of Makuhita and Meditite. I did check the previous Pokemon movie, Pokemon Heroes, which that came out June of 2002. 6 months before Ruby and Sapphire, and that movie is Latios and Latias. So obviously, the year before, Ruby and Sapphire just started production, enough for those two to be in there, as well as Wailmer. I don't remember if the short was made at the same time or if that was a DVD thing afterwards, but even if you check the short, the short had Duskull, Volbeat, and Wynot. So that doesn't explain Makuhita and Meditite. But it's kind of obvious to me that around the time the fifth Pokemon movie came out, they went back to Game Freak and discussed what to do with the next movie, sort of thing, what Pokemon to use, because, Jirachi. And that's where those 4 Pokemon were kind of working together, so they were all talking to each other, that's for sure. But now I'm thinking, considering that right near the 5 months before this game came out in Japan, Jirachi came out, and they're probably already talking about the movie after that, the Deoxys movie. I know for a fact Metagross is in that movie. Makes me wonder how early the Gen 3 Pokemon were chosen. I want to see what Pokemon, which ones are in the Deoxys movie. Which, by the way, I do own that one, too. I remember that one being okay, but it's a pretty long movie for a Pokemon movie. Let's see. Let me look. Are these two done now? Okay, good. What? Sorry, my dog wants more attention. She won't stop. And then Meditite, get them both in here. Okay, let's see. Anything new? Yeah, there's the Metagross. I knew that. Close again. Also Minun, Rayquaza, Deoxys, Munchlax. Yeah, that movie also had Munchlax too. I should look up when this movie actually came out. Because maybe this was the first appearance of Munchlax. And not XD. Oh. Didn't. Swablu, Tropius. Nope, that doesn't explain anything. Okay. That does not help. Never mind. That threw that theory out of the water. Actually, when did that movie actually come out? Also, you know, Alfred's skills self-improver, right? Okay. Yes, if you stand still or don't attack. Because Alfred was shown in Heroes before Engage drop. His Heroes version of the skill makes the Engage version look like a cheap knockoff. Of course it did. Of course. Like, what's the differences, Hot Corn Dog? You were checking the Room 4 website, okay. And apparently there's a list of Pokemon that were included leftover texts that never got fully implemented. Spoink, Psyduck, okay. Baltoy, Mightyena, Castform, Porygon 2, okay. Breloom, Lunatone, Solrock, Roselia, Chimecho, Minun, Electrode, Snorunt, Teddiursa, okay. Corphish, Spheal, Sandslash, Magcargo, and we got... Okay. Kecleon, Wishcast, Xatu, Wobbuffet, and Wailmer. Interesting. Okay, this is interesting. So what's going... So why... Was it just a lack of time, then? They also said that there is an old Japanese commercial where it looks like you start off with a Shadow Castform early on. Interesting. Okay. Considering that the commercial showed Shadow Castform, that is interesting that they took it out. Because that list could have just been, like, in the files. Pretty much. But if the Castform was shown in footage, that must have been a... I wonder why. When did Destiny Deoxys come out? 2004? Yeah, the next year. Well, in Japan anyway. What time? Is it like June? That seems to be consistent. July, yeah, the very next year. So I think this, the 7th Pokemon movie was the first time Munchlax might have been shown. They had Munchlax planned that early? That's interesting. So that ruins my theory about a lot of it. Self-improver grants plus 10 attack, speed, and 20, plus 20 defense. Inflicts minus 5 resist at the start of combat. if unit has equal or greater than 25% HP, inflicts special cooldown charge -1. Okay. And isn't it like in Engage where it's like, oh, you don't attack, you get a little bit more attack power if they attack or something? +5 speed, okay. Yeah, that sounds more broken than what it is in actually is in Engage. Try not to talk about Fire Emblem Engage too much. One, I'm streaming it, and two, I know some of you in here will rather play Engage yourselves and not be spoiled. So, yeah. But that is interesting, Hawkhorn Dog. Shown off earlier than expected. Because I have some thoughts about Fire Emblem Engage. Yes, Molly. Jeez, my dog just wants attention. That's all she wants. It never stops. Did you read the weapon? No. I think the raid happened, so I got distracted. Let me look. Okay, accelerate special trigger cooldown -1. Start combat. Unit's HP is above 25%, grants attack speed, defense resist +5 during combat. Makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. Foe cannot make a follow-up. So if unit or foe initiates combat after moving to a different space, cooldown charge to unit during combat only. Wow, that... Yeah, okay. I can see why. Yes, my doggo just wants more attention. Speaking of doggo, let's see if we can get... Come here. Come here. Up. Come on. Up. Come here. Okay. I'm here. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. You're on stream now. Hi. And you can get some attention. There we go. There we go. Got my doggo on stream. Hi. Yes. So it sounds like Pokémon Colosseum was meant to be more a mix between Gen 3 mons and Gen 2 mons. Maybe it was a lack of time, then? The cast form thing could explain why the running man in Fennec has a cast form. Maybe. I don't know. How much time did they get to make this game? That's a good question, Hot Corn Dog. That is a very good question. Probably not much. Considering that any Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon that they had in here were just ripped straight from Stadium, that saves some time. Probably a lot of the battle mechanics are ripped from Stadium, right? Right, Molly? So when it comes to like the new Pokemon, they had to create the Gen 3 Pokemon from scratch, but that's it for the new ones. Okay. Yes. You see this? She just wants attention. You see this? Okay, come here. There you go. I don't know how early they... Obviously, they got together around the time Heroes came out. At the very least a year. But obviously, games take more than a year to do. So I don't know how early this started. But maybe they spent like the first... You know, I don't know. The screenshot you found with cast form shows him in your party at level 33 next to your Umbreon. So it must have been A later change to remove cast form. The screenshot has a different looking battle UI. They definitely fully modeled a lot of Pokemon at this point. A lot of Gen 3 Pokemon specifically, right? Because again, the Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon are ripped straight from Stadium 1 and 2. They only made 2 banners for Fire Emblem 3 Homes. I mean, it is a spin-off, kind of. And there's not many new characters added to it. So I'm not surprised. I had to think, like, 3 Hopes. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's the... 3 Hopes is the Dynasty Warriors game. I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, wait, I'm like, wait, 3 houses definitely had more than 3, right? 3 banners. What do we got? Oh, we're getting there. How different was the UI? Yeah, oh, Brown Shoe, can you link it? Link an image to the old UI? Because I could probably just look at it and directly compare. Okay. Down the page a bit. Okay. I'll get this next move going out. Take a look. Okay, let's see. Something went hyper mode. Nope, still going. Yeah, this is a forum. Okay. Keep that going. Oh, you're... Okay, I'm seeing an image with someone with Cast Form and Umbreon at level 50. Kulava and Bayleaf at level 23. There's an image of Makuhita. Whoa. Okay, there's an image of Mount Battle here where it looks like it's in like a giant tree. Hold on, can I okay. Yeah, level 53. But that was also, like, could have already been purified. So they could have just trained it up with them. Hold on. No, that's not what I need. No, that's the chat box. I should have something for... No? Hold on. I would like to show off this image if I can, but I'm not smart enough. Okay, hold on. Okay, maybe if I do this. Our own legendary says are really good. A2 units. I'm not surprised. No. That ain't helping. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. And because I don't know what I'm doing, you're gonna have to deal with me just commentating over what I'm actually seeing. I know. Just follow the link, I guess. But yeah, it looks like Battle Tower might have just been a giant tree. Makes me think of White Tree Hollow in Black and White. I see someone with a Blaziken and a Slack King. No, this is multi-battle, so that's probably multiplayer stuff. Shadow Makuhita is still here. Let's see, do we have any other images? That was just page 2. Oh, I didn't see anything else. But yeah, I saw the cast form. It's entirely possible that... It doesn't look like a multi-battle, so it makes me think it was a shadow Pokemon. Okay. You know, that's interesting. Anyway. Actually, yeah, that was page 2. What if I check page 1? I mean, it's just Mount Battle. I mean, there's not much to really say now, is it? Someone went hyper mode. Any other pictures I could look at? And just commentate because I'm dumb and don't know how to get this to work. There's a video. Okay. Shuckle's making a lot of progress. Bunch of e-reader stuff. What is this? No. Okay. Not really help. That wasn't that helpful. Yeah, the cast form thing is definitely the most interesting out of all those images. Yeah, both, I'm sorry. So both genders, it says Monica, Holst, Arvel, Legendary, and another says. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, basically all the new characters. That sounds about right. You gave Effie an expensive build overall. Plan to use her a lot. I mean, Effie sounds pretty strong. But then again, you know, Fire Emblem Heroes is all about power creep. So I don't really know anymore. Yeah, we're making progress. Go Shuckle, you're gonna deal a lot of damage. There goes the Tropius. Tropius is just like, nah, I'm cleaning this mess. And Shuckle's angry about it, I guess. But yeah, old Brown Shoe, you mentioned none of the trait evolutions from Gen 2, as well as Blissey. Well, other than Porygon 2. But, so that kind of rules out my thought process, I guess. They had to have been working on it around 2001 at the very earliest, I guess. Or later, I don't know. But yeah, they did have to cut... If that is true, they did cut out a lot of Gen 3 stuff. As well as a couple Gen 1s, but a lot of Gen 3. I still think my theory about the 4 being in the movies is still relevant, because if they were all in there to begin with, and they cut a bunch of them out for time, they still kept the 4 that were in the movie. I feel like that's still a little bit relevant. Speed is low. That's pretty normal for a tank. Res is a bit of a problem, but due to the build gave her, the damage reduction she gets helps her out against dragons. I mean, she's basically a physical tank, that's for sure. That's kind of what she's meant for. Where are we at? These two. Halfway. Yeah. I don't think Meditite is going to finish. Before we end the tier. Yeah, now that I actually took a look at like the battle UI, so in our current images, we see like this square sort of outline over it. The image shows like this. I mean, it's like a green thin line square with a little bit more detail. Plus, like arrows on the side. Like facing the other opponent. It's almost futuristic type of looking UI. That's the best way I can describe it. Do you get Jinx in XD? I want to say yes, but I don't know if that's true. Gotta kill time somehow. Not meant for taking magic, that's Lissa's job. Yeah. XD, let's see. Was Jinx one of them? I don't think so, but I'm gonna look anyway. I gotta kill time and distract myself somehow. It's Battle Tower for the 10th time. Obtainable Pokemon. Probably near the bottom. Mr. Mime. It's kind of weird that you get Swellow so late into XD. I'm not seeing Jinx. Yeah, I don't see Jinx in XD. Interesting. Where are we at? Ugh. Okay, that ain't happening. There we go. Oh no, rock types. What else is new? I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this trainer like a good 6 times already. It's just a lot easier to just reset Mount Battle at the beginning. And guess what? Once we're done with Mount Battle with Shadow Pokemon, we have to go through it like 2 more times. Valentine's FE came out. Decent HP, great attack and speed. Decent defense and terrible resistance. Why would you want her with speed since she's like a tank? Well, that helps. The grind is real. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I am hoping to get the Shadow Pokemon done by the next Pokemon stream. Then after that, we gotta go through again with Heracross to get the ribbon. Then once we're done with all Gen 3, I mean, chat told me we're getting Ho-Oh, so we're getting Ho-Oh, and that's another Mount Battle. So yeah. By the end of this game, it just becomes Mount Battle. The game. Story mode, what's story mode? It's just Mount Battle. It's like Pokemon Stadium. We regress back to Pokemon Stadium. No plot, just battles. This one isn't an armored FE, it's infantry. Oh, okay. She's in a dress suit. So this FE is more like a, oh, what's the class called? The one that Nephany is in Path of Radiance. That type of class. Nosepass is just freaking out, trying to figure out where North is before he passes out. Makes me wonder when the designs for the Gen 3 Pokemon were finalized. I also thought what Gen 3 Pokemon were shown in the anime before Gen 2 stuff, like in the actual anime, not the movies. The only ones I could think of are Kecleon and Blaziken. But Blaziken was shown off at the league, so that's a little bit too late. Here's an axe. And you even got a little side story for Tempest Trials. You're assuming as celebrations for almost 5 years of no FE alts. Okay. It's kind of weird how there are probably still characters in Fae that haven't gotten a single rep, but yet we need our 12th Camilla, you know? Well, I'm sorry. We already have 12 Camillas. Or 15th. And you know, when you add in Fire Emblem Engage, that's a lot of characters that's going to be added in. That's going to take priority over some others. What's going on here? What the? Oh! Okay. There's some police cars up front. That's weird. I really hope that has nothing to do with me. Probably not. And you never know. I don't want to joke about swatting, but yeah, that's a thing that can be worrying. Camilla, Lynn, and Corin are currently fighting over who gets the most salts. Yeah, that sounds about right. Question about Corin. Are we talking both genders of Corin, or are we talking specifically the female one? No, I think it's like for a neighbor. Kekuleon is only mentioned by removed text files. I obtained the hard-to-find Shadow Kekuleon. Okay. So Kekuleon was probably going to be one of the last ones you get? Kind of like how the Togetic is? I'm also noticing the hard-to-find is very interesting choice of words. Some sort of plot point. Yeah. Female Corin has 7 ults equal to Lyn. Male Corin has 6. Oh, okay, so he's not getting ignored. Okay. Not that far behind. So, it's interesting that they use hard to find, implying that they're just wild Pokemon and not manufactured in a lab. Text will also fall. It's a trivial thing. Only the person who knows the password of this male's title will battle. They're waiting just for Pirate Colosseum. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, it does, yeah, kind of go invisible. So, okay. When you put it that way, that makes sense. And Tropius is just mad. Both in hyper mode, nice. Tropius is definitely going to take a while. Byleth and Dimitri have 5 alts. Okay. And with Byleth, is that counting both genders, or is that like each one has like 5 alts each? Oh no, Shuckle's down. Tropius was your favorite Gen 3 Pokemon. Really? When Ruby Sapphire first came out. I had no idea how bad its stats were. That's specifically female Byleth. Interesting, okay. Well, since Espeon's here to clean house. Yeah, I feel like I might have used Tropius once, but Tropius is also like a rare find. You know, I ended up probably, if I had to pick one, I probably ended up choosing Absol because they're both next to Fortree City. Makes sense. Okay, let's see how many Pokemon I got done. Okay, let's take a look. So these two are still being worked on. Okay. Tropius didn't do much except switch in to take Grass 6 and use Fly. I hear Tropius is a pretty good HM mon. Okay, and then we'll grab Tropius. Let's see how many I got left. Yeah, some are evil Robins. Okay, so we got 6 Shadow Pokemon. What am I doing? So once those are done, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you know these two are pretty close. Yeah, Tropius does the banana beard makes it a little bit more interesting. 5, 6, 7, 8. Because of the late start and because I have other things I have to do, we're gonna just end with 6. And assuming I can stream on time next time, we'll get the rest done. We'll get the 8 done next time. I probably would have been willing to do another tier, but with the late start and other stuff I have to do, yeah, we're gonna just do the 6. But I'm gonna purify my own screen, but yeah. We're almost done with Colosseum. Kind of. That's a relief. That is such a relief. One more of these and then we can move on to Emerald. You know, the actual reason why we're doing this. It's not just a normal Colosseum playthrough. Gotta get all my ribbons for a Heracross. That's the real reason why we're doing this. Could have been doing that a long time ago, but I'm just like, nah. Let's just make this also a normal Colosseum, like, playthrough. So the title only works half of the time. But yeah, I definitely want to look into Colosseum development, because since you brought up that there's a lot of Gen 3 mons in the early build, that is I really want to look into this. I still think 4 of those Gen 3 mons were kept because of the movie. I still stand by that. But yeah, the E-Reader, I mean, you get Caesar from that, but I find it weird that Togepi and Mareep were the E-Reader ones. Considering that you get Togetic and Flaffy in-game. I wonder why those two were chosen for E-Reader. Immediately tried to kill Ricken once she discovered Robin was really Grima. I had to think a second on who Rickon is. I don't use Rickon in Awakening. Because once I get access to like Tharja, I just stick with stick with Tharja. I easily forget about Rickon. And I'm someone that usually likes using mages in Fire Emblem games. I wonder what the move is going to be. Oh my, who could have predicted that? Imagine if you had to get every single unknown in this game. One for every letter. There's a shadow unknown. Who can live due to apparently the summoner and Fae. Case the power to nerf this. Okay. That way every character summoned is on a roughly even playing field. I say roughly because power creep's a thing. And not much is done about it. So let's get my Pokemon swapped back. Go. It gave Rim an existential crisis for the rest of the conversations. Oh, of course. So next, let's throw in Absol. And we'll grab Togetic. And my Espeon. To clean up messes. Alright. So, literally, like every Shadow Pokemon is right here. Every Shadow Pokemon's on screen. We got 8 more to go. The end. It's in sight. Anyway. Thanks for everyone who showed up. I am doing Pokemon streams on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at noon Pacific time, and I'm playing Fire Emblem Engage on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Pacific time. If you want to see the old streams that are not on Twitch anymore, they're on YouTube at ScottBot64 Stream Archives. But yeah, normally the streams are at noon, unless tech issues happen. Let's hope that doesn't continue on. Anyway, everyone have a good day. Later.